Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's your boy, Preston, PhatSamuraiGuy, back again with another episode of Anime Block, baby, where we discuss all things anime and more. And, of course, I couldn't be doing these two movies without my brother from another mother, Eric, the Asian movie enthusiast. You like how I put a little stank on it? You like that? Yeah,
I
man.
deserve it.
Welcome back to the channel, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had a blast, I think a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, where me and Eric and Kyle Wong, actor, filmmaker, reviewed Jet Li's The One. We had a lot of fun talking about that. So if you guys missed that episode, make sure you check it out. But we're talking anime today, baby. But before we get started, what legends do we got up in here watching right now? There we go. Lizard King says, let's go. J.S. Brown's flexing it and throwing it up. That's right. Crystal Boy. There you go, Eric. Crystal Boy is a cool. We'll get into that in a little bit, but it's good to see you guys, and we like to have fun here on the channel. We don't just talk martial arts, action, and horror and all that little sci-fi spice on it. We like to think outside the box and talk about some anime once in a while, just for fun here. So what I like to do with my guests for Anime Block is I like to let them pick a movie, and then the next episode I'll pick the next one or series. But we decided to do a double today, and I was like, you know what, Eric, I was gonna recommend Space Adventure Cobra, but Eric was like, nah, dude, we gotta do Robot Carnival. And I was like, oh, I've never seen Robot Carnival before, and I've always heard great things, but I've never actually seen it. So this is the perfect time to jump right into it and revisit an old school classic, going all the way back, Eric, to 1982. Holy shit. I think I was 4 years old when this came out, but we're going to get into it. But first up here, have you seen, this is the first time you've seen Space Adventure Cobra, so is this new for you, or you've seen this before?
I saw it once a handful of years ago.
Okay.
And I remember enjoying it, but it was nice to revisit it. Yeah, because, I grew up with the classics, Thundercats, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Transformers, a little bit of Robotech here and there, the classics, Ninja Turtles, all that good stuff. But Mask, gotta get shout out to Mask. And of course, in the 90s, we had X-Men and we had Batman. But, I was early to anime, I think in the 90s, when I was starting to slowly discover, oh, what is this awesome shit that's outside of Disney? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, there's other stuff out there besides Disney? Oh, wait, hold up. That guy's head just blew up. Oh my God, I'm seeing boobies. Yeah.
What is going on here? Of course, I'm like a teenager, right? I'm like, oh, I got to do the deep dive. So that's when I used to go to Blockbuster Video and, start just going off of the cover. And I rented Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D, which is actually getting a re-release in theater, by the way.
Oh,
in select theaters, yeah. And I came across Space Adventure Cobra, VHS, son. That's right, we going all the way back. And I was like, oh, this looks cool. Let me check it out. So I remember watching it. I remember really enjoying it and having a lot of fun. But I've always meant to buy it on DVD or something like that. But I just never got around to buying it. So many years went by, 5 billion years. That's right. I got the gray to show for it here. That's right. But hey, you know what? Let me revisit it. Let's see how I feel about it now. And sometimes, Eric, when we revisit something, we get the opposite effect. Either we'll still love it, or we'll be like, ooh, it just didn't hit the same. You know what I mean? So sometimes that happens, and it's okay. It's all good. But what's going on? Certified Badass channel members are in the house, showing up. What is going on? Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Omegon. Yeah. So before we jump into it, I got to show some footage. So let's go back to 1982, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, baby. Space Adventure Cobra. Man, directed by Dazaki Osamu, who did one of my favorite anime movies of all time, The Professional Gogol 13. That's like my top 10 right there. Because I love that movie so much. And he directed that one. As many as count like 5 billion other things this guy has directed. But here's a quick plot synopsis, and don't forget there'll be some minor spoilers. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, fuck it. We'll do minor spoilers.
Minor, yeah. There's some big stuff that happens in this movie, so
yeah,
be a little careful.
Okay, we'll do minor spoilers. But here's the plot synopsis for those who have not seen it. After 2 years in hiding, a famed space pirate with a psychogun for a left arm joins a bounty huntress on a quest to save her world, only to find himself battling an old enemy. That's right. And we have so many wonderful characters in this movie. And I remember, Lady Armoroid, all this stuff. Professor Topero. Oh, he's called Crystal Bowie here, Eric. I'm looking at IMDb right now. Crystal Bowie. Me and Eric were going back and forth because I've heard Crystal Bowie, and I've heard when I watched it on Amazon Prime and last night, they were calling him the main villain Crystal Boy. So it's kind of funny. Chat said Crystal Boy. So it's probably both. Who knows? Wonderful plethora of characters. But I remember I only watched it once. I remember enjoying the movie, but I didn't really become a fan of the character until I watched the series, the original series, which came out, I think in the same year, a little bit after that. And then when I watched the series, got to know the characters a little bit more. I think it's like 33 episodes or something like that. I was like, oh yeah, Space Adventure Cobra for life. I'm by no means an expert, but I just became a fan, and I totally forgot I had this. And I don't even remember where I bought this, but I got this really cool Space Adventure Cobra statue. And I don't know if I got this at anime convention, an expo, Comic-Con. Like I have no Amazon. I don't remember how I bought this, but I forgot I had it. I had to wash it off just for the video, Eric. This is tons of dust on it. But I had to show that off. This is the perfect time to show that off. But yeah, I just became a fan of the character, and believe it or not, Eric, this comic, and of course, the manga, of course, the series was absolutely huge in Europe, huge especially in France as well. It was like just hugely huge. That's a new word sentence I'm putting together here. But yeah, you have the movie, and then you have the series. And then they actually brought the series back in 2008 to 2013. They actually brought the series back, I believe. A little new coat of paint. And that's fun, too. It's fun. I like the original series more, but the little reboot was still fun because it's always fun watching these characters in action. And our boy here, Crystal, we're going to call him Crystal Boy just for this episode. Yeah, our boy Crystal Boy returns in the series, and they have a rematch. Yes. And
wow.
And you get some more backstory on Lady Armoroid's origin, and of course Cobra's origin as well. You get some backstory on there because he used to look different. He had the long blonde hair. Yeah, he totally had to change his whole appearance because he's the most wanted space pirate out there, the unkillable Cobra. Yes, but yeah, just definitely a fan of the series and the movie and stuff like that. But I had just as much fun revisiting this as I watched it the first time. But what did you think about it revisiting it after all these years, Eric?
I appreciated it more. I think I actually just today. I bought the Blu-ray because I rewatched it and I enjoyed it even more. So yeah, I added this to my collection. Yeah.
Hell yeah. When I posted on Instagram and social media that we were going to be talking about these movies, people in the comments were saying, yo, Space Adventure Cobra is fucking underrated, man. Yeah. Like there's some fans out there. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Mostly fans, probably more fans, obviously outside of America, but hey, we're getting some cult fans here in America. What's up, Brian Sanchez? It's good to see you, brother. And we got Champs up in the house. Good to see you. But yeah, man, just a lot of fun. And it's just this character, man. This character is fucking hilarious. He's a rapscallion scoundrel, if you will. You know, he's all about the ladies. He's all ladies, being a badass, but he fucks up too, which makes things funny. There's a moment in the series, and the theme song from the original series still slaps, by the way. Cobra Love. That's right. Still slaps. All right. Driving to work with that. Right? Moment where they're playing the fancy theme song, and Cobra's riding on his little space bike he's using, and he crashes. It's random. He crashes into something, and he's slowly flying in the air, freaking out, while the theme song is singing about how awesome he is. And I'm like, I gotta get the figure now. I can't. This is just too much fun. And especially in the series, you notice he always has that cigar. That sometimes are cigars, by the way. He has that cigar all the time. There's a part in the series where he's fighting a dude underwater and he still has the cigar in his mouth because that's how he rolls. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, it was a blast revisiting this. And, you know, he comes across this other, at first, bounty hunter. And then she kind of like, hey, maybe I should go after this guy. And they become, you know, he kind of joins her on her mission because why? Because she's hot. And then they, you know, she quickly falls in love with him. Why? Because he's the chosen one. We got to get to it. You got to fuck around here. Let's just
right.
And unfortunately, she doesn't make it. But how conveniently for the plot and Cobra to where her love essence goes to her next twin sister, who's just as hot as she is. And then it, you know, goes from there. But they're trying to save her planet and stuff like that. And it all becomes full circle by the end. But you get some, I mean, for 1982, bro, animation's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And fun fact, this is the first anime feature that had Dolby sound when it was released in theaters. Yeah. Right. I did not know that. But just a whole bunch of characters, and then oh man, this character right here beat the shit out of Cobra, man. I feel if you go back to this fight, I think he got a worse whooping from her than Crystal Boy, dude.
Yeah, like, possibly.
I mean, she beat the shit out of this dude. But here he is, Crystal Boy, aka Crystal Bowie. Very interesting villain design. Talk about his design, Eric.
He's basically almost like a skeleton robot hybrid with special powers, and he can take his own bones that are made out of like, I don't know, some really hard steel and rip it out of his body and create weapons with it and stuff. So I liked him. He has that like green cloak. He's almost like he'll have the shroud above him, and he almost looks like a Grim Reaper at times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's like he's it's like polarized crystal gel type of and he's the only one. You know he's got to be the main villain when he could take Cobra's psychogun blast. It doesn't work on him.
Just straight up immunity.
Yeah. And I like. I mean, if I have to nitpick, I love the movie. I love it even more now, Eric. Like Eric said, but if I have to nitpick, I wanted the final fight to be longer.
Sure.
It was kind of just wrapped up. But I like how he beat him, though. I like how he beat him. But still, great anime villain design, really cool looking. And don't forget, you guys can watch both of these movies that we're talking about on Amazon Prime right now. You can watch them there and definitely check them out. And another thing, the vibes I was getting from Space Adventure Cobra, the movie, I was the character of Cobra himself. I was getting 80s Flash Gordon vibe. You know, mixed a little bit with Nathan Fillion's character from Firefly. I was really getting both of those kind of merged together. I was going to say Han Solo, but I took that back because Han Solo doesn't really like joke around like does. So I took him out. But Nathan Fillion's character in Firefly is always like talking shit and stuff like that. So.
And Cobra's not like a superpower dude. He gets his butt kicked. But one thing I noticed now that we're talking now is like his name's Cobra, and he moves like a cobra. Like when you think about like the way he would like be light on his feet, and he's hard to shoot and hit basically a lot of the time, and so he moves almost kind of like a cobra, and he's tough to take down, even though he's not overpowered.
Right. Right. And he can actually curve the bullet at some point. When you watch the series, he develops the mental capacity to curve the beam if he need to. So yeah, he's a bad dude, but he's one of those. He's a badass with a heart of gold, but he's got beef with the Pirates Guild, man. Especially in the series, especially after this movie, he hates the Pirate Guild even more so because of what happened to the three sisters. But yeah, good stuff, great stuff, hilarious, really good animation, some fun action set pieces, slapping soundtrack, and definitely has. Oh, go ahead.
The visuals in this, there's a lot of space themed and ice themed visuals in this, which are right up my alley. So like most of the movie either takes place either in spacey with spacey backgrounds or like icy backgrounds and like the ice world they drop in. So I kind of like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of when you can pause a movie at points and be like, oh, there's an art background right there. Like put that on my desktop, Facebook, printing out and hanging on the wall. There's definitely moments like that. Still you get those, just pause it right at the right moment and be like, dude, that's some cool shit. I love this world.
Yeah.
I love this world. So yeah, I definitely recommend the movie and the two series for sure. And yeah, it was a blast to rewatch it. And again, the cult following continues. There's been video games. There was a video game that just dropped, maybe 2 years ago. So yeah, you can get it on PS5 and stuff like that. So there's still a fan base for this. Now I got to get to the big damn. So when I saw that this was going on, I remember when this was announced, there was supposed to be a live action Space Adventure Cobra. Now there's all kinds of posters like this with this model, and this was going to happen, Eric. They were going to make a live action movie of Cobra, and I was like excited, and then I totally forgot about it until I did so many years went by, and I forgot that was this was supposed to happen. And so I did some research, and apparently, director Alexandre Aja
from High Tension.
Yeah, High Tension, Piranha 3D. One of my favorites, I think he did The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah,
remake.
Yeah.
The unrated version is the shit. This was because, again, like I said, this is huge in Europe. So this was like a dream. He even says it. This is a dream gig to direct the live action version of Cobra. And it looked like it was going to go. They were going to team up with Lionsgate because of Avatar. 3D movies were still popular. They were going to make it 3D. It was going to be this big budget, maybe 130 million type, dollar budget. And everyone was excited and ready to go. All they needed was a big star to play Cobra. It was set in stone, son. This was going to happen, Eric. We were going to get a big budget 3D live action movie of Cobra. And then the very next year, a small little movie featuring a whole bunch of characters nobody knows came out and absolutely destroyed and derailed all plans for this film. You want to know what movie it is? You ready?
Did it bomb?
God damn it.
Oh no.
God damn it. Guardians of the Galaxy came out and no one knew how big of a phenomenon this movie was going to be. Now, I'm a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. But this came out and completely destroyed. And that was it. Now, Alexandra was still like, no, fuck it, let's make it. But everyone else was like, no, we cannot compete with this. Again, nobody knew who these characters were. The casuals is what I mean, not the comic book fans.
Yeah.
The casuals didn't know who these characters were. They didn't know, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Then they went to go see it and everyone loved it and the word spread and it became this huge phenomenon. You'll find some of the previous actors that were originally casted for these that they wanted for these roles, and they turned it down. Like, I forgot the name of the what's her name, Amanda Seyfried or something.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
She was supposed to be Gamora, but she turned it down. She had no idea that this was going to be a huge smash.
Yeah.
So that derailed, and it still hurts. Alexandra's like, it still hurts because this was a dream gig for him. And now, if you, so yeah, again, it makes sense, right? That this came out and that was it. Because if you think about it, Star-Lord, in a way, is very Cobra-esque.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to get the girl. He's comedy. He's kind of fucking up shit. He uses projectiles. You know, he's kind of Cobra-esque in a way. But yeah, it just kind of fucked things up. But
if you think about it, let's take the opposite scenario. Let's say Guardians of the Galaxy tanked and was a bomb. It still would have killed the idea.
That's true.
So it would have had to have done like just pretty good to like hit that sweet spot of being like, oh, okay, we can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. So it you know, again, I enjoy the film a lot, but that does kind of hurt me, especially me being a fan. It does kind of hurt that it didn't happen, especially when it looked like they were getting ready to happen. They had the budget, they had everything, they were ready to rock and roll. But you know what I'm thinking? I think because of the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, you think they would have just went through it anyway. Because think about it, at least for the Eastern audience, you know, the European audience, at least for you do your own French version of Space Adventure Cobra with your biggest French star over there at the time, right? And just release it in Europe. Probably still be a huge hit.
Yeah.
You know? Especially, I'm not saying like, you know, like do what Asylum does and let me release a mockbuster of what's popular at the time. But like, you know, I would say go off of the fame and be like, hey, look at that. Cosmic space operas are back. Big budget space operas are like in now. So fuck it. Let's do our own version. So I think they should have went ahead and did their own version, but it is what it is. Will we ever see a live action Space Adventure Cobra movie? Probably not. I mean, what do you think?
Probably not.
Oh, here we go. And you just mentioned this to me, Eric, not too long ago. Fifth Element and the Valerian movie and Space Adventure Cobra would fit in there. And you just watched Valerian. You said you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a bomb though.
Yeah. Yeah, again,
but I liked it. Yeah.
I'm sure it did well in Europe.
Even with Dane DeHaan as the lead, it was good. So like I was kind of surprised.
You know what's sad about Dane DeHaan is that if you give him the right role, he's good.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I mean, if you give him the right role.
I think the actress kind of carried him a little bit in Valerian. Was it Cara Delevingne?
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he was great.
She was good in that.
Yeah. I'm not saying he was great in Valerian.
Yeah, I hear
I'm
you.
just saying
But he worked in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. But yeah, Valerian was a fun sci-fi flick. But yeah, it's just again, it's a hard sell when of properties that are big outside of America to sell it to Americans. You know what I mean? It's hard. It shouldn't be, you know. If everyone was open-minded like me and Eric, we would enjoy. So many people would enjoy a lot more things. You know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good. But I had to share that, not necessarily fun fact with you guys, but yeah, I had to share that with you guys. But now it is time to go to the carnival. Let's go to the carnival, baby. Got my ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feeling that music, man. Feeling that music. So great recommendation. I'm just gonna. I've always heard good things, but I got to give my brother a shout out for recommending this. I don't think you've ever recommended me something that sucked. As we've been doing,
it had to have happened at least.
You sure? I don't know, man. Like we've been doing videos for years now. I don't know. We'd have to go back.
Maybe I know your taste. Maybe that's what it is.
I would recommend stuff that we would talk about. Eric would be like, "Oh, God damn it! All right." But yeah, Robot Carnival, 1987. The plot synopsis is a collection of short stories made by different animators with robot as the working title. Why is that rating low? What the fuck, IMDb? I'm looking at it right now. It's 6.8.
Yeah, that's low for this.
That's fucking horrible. Anyway, I know you warned me before I watched it. It can get a little artsy fartsy at times, but I'm happy to report that the farts don't stink with this one, and really enjoyed it. I just took it in. I felt like I was watching art.
Yeah.
I just felt like I just took it in. I sat down. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let me, have fun entering each one of these animators and directors' crazy minds. Let's see what worlds they create and come up with. Yeah. And I had a blast with it. I really enjoyed it. If you guys have not seen Robot Carnival, obviously we're recommending it, but think of Fantasia. Okay. Very similar, right? There's very little dialogue, just more music based. You're watching animation. So it's like the badass anime version of Fantasia. I'm surprised there hasn't been more Robot Carnivals, like a volume 2 or a volume 3. I'm kind of surprised they didn't keep going with this idea. This was a great idea. Doing these anthology films, let's see, Pet Shop of Horrors, that was an anthology movie.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so there's probably other anthology movies out there, but it would have been cool to have the title Robot Carnival in there. So when was the last time you watched this one?
Maybe like a year ago.
Yeah. Was that
the
your
first time I saw it? This was the first anime I ever saw. And it was on the Sci-Fi channel back in the 90s.
Ooh, holy shit. We going back.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like a Saturday. And I just saw it. And I'm like, this is just unbelievable. Like, obviously nothing I'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
So I was immediately a fan. And then over the years, I lost track of it because it was kind of hard to find on physical media for a while. Yeah. And then just in the past handful of years, you started getting the DVDs and the Blu-rays started cranking out again. Thank goodness.
Cool. Copy that. There we go. Champ says he loved Deprived. Watched it the other day. Nice. Copy that. But yeah, just so well done, so good. So I'm gonna let my brother take it from here and talk about each short and what you thought about it.
I also have a little introduction as well before. So this is a 90-minute film. You have 7 short films from different directors, and then you get an opening segment and a final segment. And a few things to keep in mind, I think, before we go into each segment. The first one is that obviously there's very little dialogue. I think only 2 of the short films have any dialogue at all. So you have to go in understanding that. Very artistic film. And also, the opening and closing segments were directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, who's well known for directing Akira. Nice. And then there were some other directors here that worked on Blood the Last Vampire, Black Magic M66, Mobile Suit Gundam, Kite, and Mezzo Forte as well.
Wow.
And then the music primarily was composed by Joe Hisaishi, who's like a legend in the Japanese film industry. He did a lot of Takeshi Kitano's films. And he even did some work on Venus Wars and Voltron and a bunch of other stuff. So there's like a lot of really good filmmaking behind this film.
When was the last time you watched Venus Wars?
Maybe 2 years ago.
Dude, I haven't watched that in years. I think it's time to revisit. Will we revisit that for the next block? We'll see.
So the opening segment, you have this, basically it's like a nice little introduction to the theme of this. And you get this huge, it almost looks like the Technodrome from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And it's a robot carnival. And apparently the theme is that it used to be like a more friendly carnival, but it somehow turned bad at some point. So it's rolling across the desert and it's going to its next performance.
Yeah.
Problem is when it performs, it destroys everything in its way.
Yeah.
So that's like the opening segment of the anthology, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was laughing, man, because it's like
performers, yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing because you hear applause. Obviously, it's not from the villagers getting their homes stomped on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're getting their homes destroyed. I was like, all right, we got some dark humor here. We got a wicked sense of humor. But yeah, that's like it's cool. It grabbed my attention right away.
Yeah. And then the second segment is Franken's Gears, which is an obvious reference to Frankenstein. And you get a crazy scientist, gives life to his robot. And then the scientist gets a little bit excited, maybe too excited, and he starts dancing around, and the robot's like mimicking his moves, and things go bad. So it's more of a classic horror type vibe to it. A lot of emphasis on like detailed animation in this one too.
Dude, oh my God, animation's so fucking good. I mean, these low quality gifs don't do it justice, but it's just so good. And we miss this era, that's why they call it the golden age of anime. It's just so good. I have a theory I'm going to throw out to you. So at first he's so happy, and he seems like a nice old man.
Yeah.
He seems like he's just a nice old man. He's happy. Look at him. He's just so excited that he's actually created something. I think there's a little dark part of this. If you look on the back, it looks like a globe of Earth.
Oh.
And you notice once it comes alive and he's like really excited and it starts mimicking him, right? What does he do after that? He takes off the globe and he starts caressing and holding the Earth.
Oh.
I think he's getting ready to take over some shit. I think he's planning world domination. And unfortunately, it doesn't go his way. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, why is he holding and he's smiling, he's hugging the Earth.
Oh, that's true.
I think he's up to some dastardly shit here going on. But yeah, great segment.
The next, we have Deprive. This one's kind of like alien invasion. Robots are kidnapping people. They kidnap a woman in this one, and her companion is kind of left behind. Yeah. And then we see this dude with like superhuman abilities attempts to save her. And this is basically just like an action-packed, like anime short film. He's just running through robots and attempting to save this girl. This is more of a crowd pleaser when compared to some of the other maybe like artsy segments. But it's pretty cool. And the robots, certain aspects involve shape shifting and other stuff. And you get some cool futuristic visuals as well in this one.
Yeah. It's fucking dope, man. Dope, especially when he takes on the main villain at the end. I was like, can I get a whole series of this?
Yeah.
But it's good shit.
Yeah. So that one's a little bit more straightforward. But then after that, we get to probably, in my opinion, the most emotionally resonant short film out of all of them. And that's Presence. And that's basically an old man. And how do I explain this? He basically is in possession of a robot girl. And this guy's this is almost like a drama romance with it has more of like this relaxing atmosphere that's very melancholic and sad.
Yeah.
And this guy's lonely, his wife is a very successful person. That's creating a little bit of distance between them. And he connects with this robot girl, and the story goes from there. And I thought this had some pretty great music and an excellent mood. Yeah. And it is the most emotionally impactful, I think, of all the stories in the set here.
Yeah. Not to spoil too much, but at first, when you see him when he's young, I think he created her, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
And then it was kind of like, at first I was like, because what he does, I won't spoil it, but he does something, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being a dick? And then when you stop and think about it, you're like, okay, you create something, but you don't program it to act that way. And it's
right.
And then I guess now looking at it, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense why he's kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
But I this is what I took away from this show. I took away, by the end of it, I was like, you see, don't get married and have children. Live your dreams. Go off to your go off and hey, go off and chase your dreams and be happy.
Yeah,
hey, look, I mean, look, this is what happens, like you just like fuck it.
That's the wonder of art. These are the interpretations that we could come up with. Because in a dialogue-driven film, everybody would explain their feelings and everything, but now you can like see between the lines and figure it out.
I'm happily married, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. All right. But no, that's what I got out of it. I was like, hey, we're having fun here.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Starlight Angel. Now, this one, you have two girls at a robot-themed amusement park, and both these girls find out that they're both dating Chad, and things go bad from there. And one of them, they get their feelings hurt, and there's another robot, like, working at the park, and the girl gets into trouble regarding the other, like, robotic-themed stuff, and the other robot attempts to help her out, even though she's still heartbroken from her, douchebag boyfriend or whatever. Yeah. This one's, like, very breezy, maybe a little bit on the light side in terms of, like, content, especially after the heaviness of the prior installment.
Yeah.
But this type of stuff kind of evens out the anthology in terms of like the tone. And I like it. This could be my least favorite of all the segments, but in most anthology films, there's always like a bad one. And this anthology does not have a bad short segment. So I enjoyed this. And it's maybe a nice change of pace from the prior, story.
Right. And beautiful animation too.
Yeah.
You can see it in motion. At first I was kind of like, is this going to turn dark? Because she drops the, what was it? A necklace, right?
Yeah.
An amulet. And the robot picks it up and the robot's kind of chasing her, trying to catch up to her to give her the amulet. But I'm like, I don't know. Is this going to turn bad? But no, this was fun. It was a little, like you said, great change of pace there. Especially after the don't get married and have kids and ruin your life.
Now this one is don't date Chad, and then you keep going.
Don't date Chad. Yeah. Now this next one, I think every single person could sit down and watch this next short and get something completely different out of it. But I want to hear what you thought about this next one.
So now we got to keep changing pace in this anthology. So now we go to the most artsy fartsy of them all.
Yeah.
If you weren't ready, we're getting artsy fartsy, and it's called Cloud. And basically, it's you can interpret a lot of stuff from this, but Cloud is like a robot basically walking through time. And you basically start off with the robot taking up most of the screen, but the story eventually shifts to you seeing the robot in the bottom corner of the screen walking, and you get images for the entirety of the rest of the screen while the robot's like walking through time and like experiencing these things that happen. Very like experimental film.
Yeah.
Definitely experimental and artsy. It's basically a story of his life experiences, and the artistry is really good. It's very relaxing and hypnotic as well.
You nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's relaxing and hypnotic. So you just got to let the images kind of flow through. And I'm not sure. It's hard for me to interpret it. If I'm being
I think that's what I got out of it. Just walking through time, and that was it. But I'm sure if we rewatch it again, we'll probably get something different out of it. But there's one thing I was thinking about. One man came to mind while watching this, and that man's name is Bob Ross. When I used to watch Bob Ross, little get out the paint and little happy little mistakes, just the way he talks. We're gonna get a little, just get a little of that titanium white there and put it on there. The way he talks and the way he paints his images in his show would relax the fuck out of me, and it almost could put me to sleep at times. And I would get so comfortable that I not like getting tired going to sleep because I'm bored, but it's just so relaxing. And that was me watching this short. I was like watching the short like this, right? And then all of a sudden I go like this. And then all of a sudden I'm like this, watching it. And I'm not bored. I'm just going like this and then leaning back in the chair, just like just like, oh, just like it was so relaxing and like you said, hypnotic, man.
And a lot of cloudy imagery too. Since the name of the segment, you'll see like calming clouds and then like dark, stormy clouds, and the other stuff happens too. But that's like the theme.
Very dreamlike.
Yeah.
And it made me. I like how they hid the robot was actually someone. Oh, you were talking about the previous short. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I thought about. I thought about me watching Bob Ross episodes, just very relaxing and watching art take place. Next up.
Now we got to keep mixing it up. So now we do crowd pleaser again. So we got through the experimental short. Now we're at A Tale of Two Robots. This short film has like 15 different names. But A Tale of Two Robots, I'll go with that. And it's set in the 19th century. Two giant robots, and they're almost like, I don't know if you call them steampunk style kaiju robots.
Yeah,
so they're operated by human beings inside with like their gears and levers and stuff. And you get this Westerner who kind of was causing problems. So you try to get this Japanese crew to stop him, and that's your segment. And there's a lot of action comedy in this one. I mean, some guys they make mistakes in the robot and cause damage to themselves. Sometimes they try all these different tactics to take down the other robot. And, it's a fun, creative type of segment compared to, you'll see some stuff that's a little different in this one for sure.
Yeah. And variety is good, especially for anthology movies. But dude, it was busting me up because one side is invading. The other side created the robot for a carnival, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, I did the thing. I said the thing. But yeah, I think it was like they made it for like a parade or some kind of celebration. And they're like, well, fuck it. We built this thing. We might as well use it to fight the guy. Animation is just amazing in this. Now, again, I'm being a little nitpicky here. I love the segment. It's one of the best. Little nitpicky. On your version that you watched, was the English dubbing for the Japanese atrocious?
Possibly. You mean the English dub?
Yes, of them doing like a Japanese accent.
Oh, I watched my Blu-ray. I think in the Blu-ray that it was a Japanese dub for the Japanese, and the English guy was speaking English, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I think if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because on Amazon Prime, dude, the English dubbing for the Japanese characters are like, oh, he's over there. No. Like that kind of, I'm like, oh, God. No.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That's not this one.
Like, oh, no, damn it. God damn it. Don't do that. Stop doing that. No. But anyway, what's funny is also with you got old school kung fu movies. Sometimes that happens, but sometimes what I hate, I think even Rick Myers mentioned this, when you have the old classic English dubbing, when they would use their voices for like their key eyes or them yelling and stuff during fights. That's bad. You know what I mean? Like we want to hear, like, you want to see how good you are. So so you must be tired of living. That's already hilarious. And especially Bruce Lee, scram. Bruce Lee saying scram is hilarious, right? But at least we don't hear the guy doing the Bruce Lee wah and all that kind of stuff. That would be horrible. Wah.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible. Wata. It would be atrocious. But yeah, we're all over the place here. So it's fun. See, the Batman Ninja movie had these kind of oh, okay. This Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time for the next action film autopsy, Rick Myers is going to be talking about that movie. So tune in. But yeah, still one of my favorite segments for sure. It's like old school Pacific Rim, period piece Pacific Rim. But what do we got next?
It's the final individual story here. It's called Nightmare. And this could be my favorite of the whole set. So I'm a big horror guy.
Yeah.
And this is set in Tokyo. This robot uses some type of like lightning effect or something, creates some weird, I guess, robotic plants and tentacles that come out of the ground and destroy parts of the city. And he basically creates like his own army of nightmarish robots to basically kill everybody.
Out of anything too.
Yeah.
He's like a wizard. He just points at anything, and they're robots.
Yeah, he can just like summon stuff and just create stuff. And this one guy is like normal businessman, salaryman on his little scooter, is like sleeping in an alley while all this crap's going down, and he wakes up, and the key minion of the evil robots is like this dude to your left there with his own little bike, and it's basically a chase. Our protagonist attempts to just survive all of the horror. And yeah, this is great. Just tons of horrific visuals in this. I really liked it.
Yeah, animation was like S tier. Like it was like insane once you guys see this in motion, and the whole post-apocalyptic world and all that kind of stuff. When the robots start coming out of nowhere, it's crazy. And I don't remember seeing any other human being except for this one dude. And poor guy, he was like, he probably just got off work, want to cut back a few brewskis, he was a little tipsy in this. I definitely got a little bit of a headless horseman going after Ichabod Crane vibe.
Sure.
In this one. But yeah, poor guy. I didn't see any other humans, poor guy. But yeah, this was great. Especially when you just finished the dreamlike short. Now you have the nightmare. And yeah, you guys know us. As long as you've been watching the channel, me and Eric are huge fans of the horror genre. But yeah, no dialogue, just all music and visuals. And I think dialogue might have ruined it. I think.
Yeah.
If the guy was like, "Don't hurt me," I think that would have been really bad. It just kind of fits the nightmare theme. Have you had nightmares like this, Eric?
I've had some weird nightmares, but no, not that.
No post-apocalyptic end of the world, just you versus the Terminators type of dreams. No.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what SamuraiGuy be having. That's the kind of nightmares I be having. Here we go. Ando says another great anime anthology is Memories. Have you seen Memories?
Yes. I think that's the same director from Akira, I think, or he directed one of the shorts, I think. Okay. Yeah, it's very good actually. Yeah.
Well, Ando, I'm gonna have to put that on the list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll have to do another one of those for sure. But yeah, this was a blast. Two great recommendations from yours truly, and of course my brother from another mother here. And don't forget, you guys can watch both of these movies right now on Amazon Prime. But yeah, this was a blast revisiting classics and then watching for the first time for me. Robot Carnival. I really enjoyed it. It restores my faith in anime. I'm trying to get into the new stuff. There's a lot of crazy, cool stuff now. So hey, that's what we got the show with. That's what the show is for. Just revisiting classics and watching for the first time, whether it's old anime or brand new stuff that's just coming out. That's what the anime block is for. And it's nice to see stuff like this. Makes me smile when you have brand new recent releases of these two movies. Both of these movies right now are on 4K, so there's a fan base still for both of these movies. I might have to buy both of them at some point.
Yeah,
because those when you watch these on Amazon Prime, they're rough. They're Space Adventure Cobra had ads. It's rough. It's rough. But yeah, if you guys are interested, if you want to just buy them, they're on. You can get them on Amazon, both in 4K. And don't forget, we had a fun opening with the Robot Carnival destroying this village. And just to remind you that you're watching something twisted. We get a closing right here. It looks like this poor village, a poor family here that's left over in the village find a little artifact out there, and it doesn't go too well. It does not go well. But it's a Saturday anime. Hey, Saturday anime on Sci-Fi got me into mini anime. There you go, Eric. There you go. Yeah. Before it was CC. Before it was CYFY.
Yep.
Whose brilliant decision was that?
I don't know.
But yeah, this was a blast. Thanks again, Eric, for being on the show, brother. And what you got coming up to the channel, man?
What do I have coming up? Oh, I'm gonna keep doing some horror reviews are coming up, collection videos. I'm thinking about reviewing Customs Frontline, which I think is like a Herman Yao movie coming up, as well as a few other stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah. You all know what you need to do. Hit them links in the description box below. Subscribe to my brother over here. He's always got awesome content, and especially those Blu-ray pickup collection videos. You're going to be drooling. You're going to be like, God damn it, I got to get that one. Let me check the wallet. Oh, fuck. It's just dust and moths coming out. God damn it. I will live through you, Eric. But yeah, subscribe to my brother here. And yeah, man. Hey, if you guys enjoyed yourself, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. Don't forget this Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Join me, Rick Myers, DJ Anubis. We're going to be talking about tons of TV shows. We got Daredevil, Reborn, and I'm sure Rick's seen The Working Man, starring Jason Statham. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. I'm sure Rick's going to talk about Snow White and all kinds of other movies. So this Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, join us live. We're going to have a blast there. And of course, tons of awesome content coming up to the channel. If you guys are channel members, hit that join button up there. I just put out a video talking about what's coming up to the channel, what filmmakers are going to be interviewing on the podcast, all kinds of good stuff. And hey, keep watching the anime, son. Represent. And of course, awesome animation movies and series outside of anime. You know, I think it's time me and you, Eric, get into get into some of that Donghua. I think it's time we start getting into Donghua, son, which is the Chinese anime.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like fucking nuts. I'm seeing clips of this shit on Instagram, and I'm like, this animation's insane. Like we're gonna have to do deep dive. We're gonna have to do that. But until next time, see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Gotta show one more time. Cobra love. Da, 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 da. Cobra love. Oh, we're not done. I hit end stream, damn it. I got too excited with my toy. All right, guys, take care.